Welcome back, guys. This is another episode of the Always and
Forever Podcast.
How are you doing, babe?
I'm good, and you?
How do you feel after the last episode?
I feel good after the last episode.
It was a good trip down memory
It
lane.
was a good trip down memory lane. It felt good just, thinking about it, talking about it.
Yes.
And I just think like how far we have come.
Yes. I mean, if you go through all of the episodes so far, it's been a journey.
It's been a journey, definitely. Today's episode is moving in together while pregnant.
While
While
pregnant.
Yes. While
Yes.
pregnant.
Because we ended
Third trimester.
in the third trimester. We ended the last episode on a cliffhanger, I would say, because there's a lot left to still tell in the story.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot left.
So where do you think we should start on this one, baby?
On the
Okay, let me start.
Okay.
I'm gonna start.
Okay.
Guys. So, like I said in the previous episode, I didn't want to miss a single thing when it came to the little one.
yeah.
I wanted to be there every single day,
Yeah.
every moment. I wanted to be there to experience it.
Yeah.
So when you decided you want your own space, you want to nurture baby,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm joining you. We're
Yeah.
going to do this thing together.
Yeah.
Wasn't initially part of the plan.
No, it was not.
It was not part of the plan.
Yeah.
But you,
It
what
was
I,
part of the plan because I never saw myself staying with
a guy
a
before
guy
we are
before
married.
But you
Yes.
also never saw yourself.
I also didn't want to do that because I respected you and said that we're going to do things the right way.
Yeah.
But because things changed,
Yeah.
and I want to thank you as well because I know how strongly you felt about it. But
I was against it.
how strongly you were against it,
Yeah.
and you allowed me, and you were like, you know what, I could use the company and the assistance, and let's do this thing together.
You're welcome.
Because I mean, at that moment,
Yeah.
we were just like we were just going, like we were just like,
Yeah.
I think like since from that moment we found out that we're pregnant,
Yeah.
things move so fast,
Yeah.
you know,
It did.
and I just felt that it's still one of those moments where you feel like it's the right thing.
Yeah. You felt like it's the right thing to do?
I felt it's like the right thing to do, you know, because I didn't want to. Already it was difficult with you living on your own and
Yeah.
going through the pregnancy, and I live somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because there was nights, you know, where I was like, I was scared. There was instances where I was scared. I was like,
Really?
yes, I was scared. I was like, you know what? I'm like a 20-minute, 15-minute drive away, and like, what if something happens to you?
Yeah.
So I had this fear inside of me, you know, and I just thank God that nothing happened in that time. And, you know, when it finally came to that move, that's why I felt it's like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Because I was at that point where I was like, I don't want you to be alone.
Yeah.
I don't want you to feel alone. I don't want you to go through this alone, because you are not alone. And I want to be there right by your side.
No, that's so cute.
Yes, that's how I
I
felt.
never knew that you had fear in you.
I had fear. Like I said, you know what? The previous episode, mostly I talked about joy.
Yeah.
Was all about joy.
Yeah.
But I had fear.
All you showed was joy when you
Yes.
felt,
And you know, is this thing of like, if you are a guy where you're always telling yourself you have to be masculine and you don't have to show your vulnerable side, you know, because you keep most of your things
yeah.
suppressed.
Stupid mindset
Yes, but that was how things were
at the time.
at that back then. I mean, things are different now where you can speak freely and you can talk openly about how you feel, and
It's much more appreciated.
it's much more appreciated. So I had this fear of like, even though I know I didn't miss any appointment, I was always there when you needed me. I showed up on time.
Yeah.
All those things.
Yeah.
Even though I know I did that, but the fact that I knew you were on your own,
Yeah.
it didn't sit well with me, and I always had this fear of, you know what, like, what if something happens to you? Like, what if I failed you by not being by your side?
Oh, my liefie. So dan raak ek nou verlief op jou hierso.
So the moment you mentioned that, remember you moved back for that short period home?
Yeah, so
And
I
then
was still staying in Springs when we fell pregnant. I
yes,
stayed by myself up until 6 months. My mom begged me to move closer and move home.
yes,
And I fought that for 6 months because I didn't want to fall into do you call it stigma?
that stereotype of
Stereotype of
yeah,
maak jou kind in jou ouers se huis groot and things like that.
yeah.
I didn't like that, and I
Because
didn't want to be
you
a part
also
of
you
that.
also enjoy your
I
independence.
love my independence, and like I said, I always told myself that I want to be the mother,
Yes.
and I want a household, and
Yeah.
yeah, my independence.
And
So
at
my
that time,
mom,
yes, babe, you can continue.
sorry. So yeah, my mom fought with me for 6 months, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll move back home. Moved back home, and I moved back into my childhood bedroom. That was a low blow. I did not enjoy that at all. I hated every night sleeping there.
It felt like
It
a
felt like
step backwards.
I'm going back in life, and also I was very disappointed in myself because I broke the promise I made to myself and a promise that I made to my unborn child that
Yeah.
we will have our household and we will
When he
live
grows up, he'll grow up under a new roof.
under a roof with
Yeah.
well, your mom and your dad in my mind. But then I was like, okay, so it's just going to be your mom. But I made a promise to my unborn child that you will have your own bedroom and you will have your own space, and we will have our household and our rules and our traditions. So moving back home, that was just, I felt like I just gave up on I
A
gave
lot of
up.
a lot of independence by doing that.
Yeah, and it was okay. It was okay being back in my being back home, but also it was not okay being back home because at home I couldn't be at home.
Yes.
So a lot of incidents happened, and I made a sudden decision that I am moving out. So I just stayed home for a month.
Yeah, it was just a month. Yeah.
It was just a month, so I had the conversation with you, and I told you, listen, look, I am moving out. I'm moving out. One thing that I promised was I'm not going to move out of Gelukcel because then you said, you don't want me to be that far. So I'm like, okay, I will
Yeah.
respect you by moving to Gelukcel, like still to a place that's in Gelukcel, but I just can't be at home.
Yes, I remember.
And that's where we had that conversation that, okay, we're going to do it together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what that conversation, I remember, when you're a guy, you talk to other guys like advice and stuff. And like, I got like the worst advice ever.
Really? What advice did you get?
The advice I got was like, I explained the situation as it is. Like, I'm moving in
Yeah.
with my girlfriend at the time, and she's
Yeah.
7 months pregnant. We're doing this thing together. So the
Yeah.
guy was like, there is no way I would ever do something like this. This is absolute madness.
Okay.
His advice was, which was shocking, was he said, like, you know what, why don't you just wait till the child is 4 years old and then you do it? Like, you're doing it too soon. Like, the baby hasn't even arrived. So in my mind, I was like,
Really? That's the advice you got?
that is the advice I got. But then I told
So I
myself,
was supposed to do this by myself. I was supposed
Basically-
to be pregnant by myself.
basically
raise the child.
basically that's the advice I got. And then that also for me was like a kind of an eye opener. It was an eye opener of like, you know what, this is not the mindset I want to have going forward.
Sure.
I want to do things in a manner where I can have my person be proud of me
Yeah.
and say, you know what, this guy he moved himself out of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
And he made a decision as a man to say that, you know what, I'm going to do this and I'm sticking by it.
Yeah.
And that's what I told you from the beginning.
You did.
I told you from the beginning, like, this is how I feel. Because, I mean, like, I'm not a church going person. You understand? But I am a believer. You know
Yeah,
that. I
I know
believe.
that.
And I've always told Merrily, like, there's instances where I feel like some of the decisions and things I do, it's a decision I make, but it's a decision I'm guided with that decision.
Oh, okay.
You understand? And at that moment when
So it's a decision that you're making, but you feel like the
it just
the
feels
seed
right.
came from,
Yes.
from someone.
Yes, it just feels right. It feels like, you know
would
what?
always say the guy upstairs.
Yes, the man
The
upstairs.
man upstairs. There
Yes.
you go.
So with that, it felt like, you know what, in my mind, I didn't know what to expect
Yeah.
because you have had your independence. You've gotten used to actually being on your
Yeah, and
own,
you
running your
never
own.
moved out
I never
of
moved.
your parents'
Yes,
house.
I never moved out. So that was a new thing for me. So
You literally moved with your car, and everything he owned was in his back seat at the time.
so when that move finally happened, I remember it was at a moment where you literally just went into the third trimester.
Yeah. On the day of moving in, that was the day I entered the trimester.
Yes,
And the
and
pregnancy was beautiful.
and I mean the moving was smooth. It was
Yeah.
easy. It was quick.
Sorry, before we go over to the moving side,
Yes.
I just want to mention something now that you mentioned, the advice that you got and in
Yeah.
the mindset that you had. So I can remember also talking with a couple of friends at the time, saying that, okay, we have decided that
Yeah.
we are going to be moving in together. And remember what I said to you
Yes.
once we made the decision, okay, we're going to move in together.
Yeah.
And the one thing I never wanted was fat and sit.
Yes.
Fat and sit, that was just never ever going to happen. That was
And there
not
was not
one-
there was not even an option for
That was
both of us
not
because it's
even an
something that
option.
we never said like
Yeah.
we're gonna do this thing.
Yeah.
We only said we're gonna do it up until the time is right.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
one thing that I said to Cesare was, I love and I appreciate the fact that you want to be a father and you want to be an active father, and that you want to be close to me and you want to be there for me. For that, I love you so much. But I need you to understand that we cannot stay together for more than 2 years. I even said 2 years.
This is not sustainable
Yeah.
long term.
We cannot stay together unmarried for more than 2 years.
Yeah.
If that happens, I would unfortunately have to ask you to move out,
Yeah.
because already we are pregnant out of wedlock. We getting a place together. Maar vat en sit gaan het nie met my werk nie.
Yeah.
And I can remember I had this conversation with a few friends at the time, and I told them, I love the fact that he's doing this, but it's not like an ultimatum that I gave you, but
Yeah.
it's just a how can I say, I respected, as much as I was pregnant,
Yeah.
I still felt that I have value,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to let that just disappear
And be a thing.
and be a thing. So
Yeah.
it was a normal conversation that we had, and I still told you that nothing is going to change between the two of us if you do not see yourself married in the next 2 years. I would completely understand, and our relationship, it won't affect our relationship.
But this thing we're doing now is for the benefit of the
Exactly.
child.
So if you are going to make this decision, just have that little seed at the back of your mind,
Yeah.
that this woman would like to one day be made an honest woman
Yeah.
out of. And for me, I felt that the fact that you continued with our decision that we made to move in together, I felt like that was adding more value to our relationship. I didn't feel like I was putting you under pressure.
Yeah.
I felt like, wow, okay, so he values me and he values our relationship. But the basically the how the conversation went with the friends was like, yeah, so you pressured him into marrying you. You basically you used the pregnancy for him to marry you. So
Yeah.
I had the back and forth with him, and I was like, I can't believe your mindset is there. This is me
Yes.
having value in my life, still feeling like I'm worth something. I am not now going to be downgraded and now just have a fat and sit relationship just because I'm married
And there was no pressure. Like
There
it was
was no
never there was
pressure.
never that instance of say, yeah, this must happen or this is, you understand?
Exactly. So what you just mentioned, like, the mindset of people sometimes is so different. Yeah, I also just felt like if you don't see, if
But
you
then-
see it in that way, like.
But then that's
I-
also where I feel like if you hear such,
Yeah.
and then that is throwing the ball in your court to be like, you know what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Like I hear this, I hear all this information that I'm getting in, but the thing at the end of the day,
Yeah.
the decision boils down to you.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Because life throws curveballs, right? And it obviously we all make mistakes.
Yes.
But now, because you've made a mistake, does that now demoralize you?
Or does it have to define your future?
Exactly.
There's
Or
no
does,
way.
Does that now have to take away from the value that
You've
still
instilled in yourself.
in yourself? You know, that doesn't have to take away
No.
from that.
No, it doesn't.
Anyway,
Yes.
let us don't deep dive. We are telling our story.
Yes. And then moving in, guys.
Oh my goodness.
So you had no nausea at all.
I had a beautiful pregnancy. It was just that first trimester, that little irritation, and then I didn't really even have morning sickness. I didn't really have
There was
morning
nothing
sickness.
like this.
I would just sometimes in the beginning of the pregnancy, while I would brush
Yeah.
my teeth, that throw up a little. I know that's very disgusting, but I feel like all pregnancy women,
Like that, the gag reflex was very bad.
and I still have that. Anyway,
That didn't go away after
it never
that.
went away.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's all I had. I was a little bit irritated in my first trimester, and every time I would brush my teeth, I would just, vomit a little bit. But throughout the day,
Yes.
I didn't have any cravings. I didn't have any mood swings. I didn't have any. Pregnancy was just beautiful.
You just drank a lot of Stony, I remember.
I just drank a lot
Stony
of Stony.
Stony was non-stop.
Yeah, but the pregnancy was beautiful. Second trimester, I felt like the most beautiful queen on this planet of Earth, because then I was showing and I finally accepted the pregnancy.
Yes.
I fell in love with the idea of us
Being pregnant.
I just started enjoying
And
life.
then while adjusting to moving in together,
Yeah.
then the third trimester just hit vomiting, the nausea, remember that night with the back pain?
Let's tell the story
Ooh.
right. So, the day we moved in is the exact day that we hit the third trimester.
The
Right?
bucket, the blue bucket.
So we were moving in that day. Obviously, I wasn't moving a lot around, but
Yeah.
you were moving. Your dad, so my father-in-law at the time, helped us move, and my mom. So it was you, your dad, and then my mom that was doing all the heavy
Yeah.
lifting on that day. It was a beautiful day. I was just eating that whole day. Like,
Yeah.
put that there, put that there, put that
Curtains
there.
went up.
Curtains went up, and eventually we were moved in within a day.
Yeah.
Did we have a couch at the time?
No, we didn't.
We didn't have a couch.
We
that
didn't
day.
have.
Okay, so. Okay, now y'all guys are gonna think.
We didn't even have a
We
fridge.
didn't even have a fridge. Okay, y'all guys are probably thinking, what's happening? So obviously, I did have my own furniture.
Yeah.
Previously, but the only thing I came with was my bed
Yeah.
and a few other furnitures.
Yes.
My old couches I gave away.
Yes.
And my old fridge I took that back to my.
And
mom's
remember,
house.
you gave some of your things away,
I gave some of my
not
things
knowing
away.
that a month later you're gonna make the decision to move into another place.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I gave my things away because I obviously thought I was now going to move back to my mom's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is how I gave my things away.
Yeah.
So we didn't have a couch.
Yeah.
That night. I was sitting on a chair
Yeah.
and I could not stop vomiting. I couldn't stop vomiting.
And that came out of nowhere.
That came out of nowhere. The whole day was beautiful. And I sat, and I don't know, like when you're pregnant, so when you're pregnant, you can't control a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I couldn't control my urine also at the time.
Yeah.
So while I'm vomiting, I'm also dripping a little bit of
Yeah.
urine. So I'm just feeling very disgusting and very embarrassed because we just moved in together.
This is not the moving in.
This is not how beautiful I thought this day and this moment would be.
Yes.
It just turned into me being so disgusting, and that vomit just came out all over the floor and it's not stopping.
Yeah.
And I remember you running, seeing the mess I'm busy making, and I was so embarrassed.
I remember.
I felt so bad.
Because remember, this is
How
now.
was that you seeing me? Like in that moment, because I felt embarrassed. How did
You know what? That was one of those instances where, like, I think you understand, and then immediately
Did you understand?
I did
You didn't have
understand.
any discuss.
No, I didn't have any discuss. Reason being, because I mean, like I've worked in a hospital environment, and so you understand. So
Okay.
I mean, in that moment, I knew what I was getting myself into with you being pregnant, but in my mind, it was only you being pregnant.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for those type of things. But it's one of those instances where you see and you act.
Yeah.
You immediately like, okay, no, let's get this right so you can be
Yeah.
comfortable again.
Yeah.
You understand? There's not even that instances or like this is not sexy or you understand?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because the thing is like at the end of the day you also have to be realistic in your mind. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm moving in with somebody that's in a third trimester.
Oh, wow.
You can expect anything. So that's where I think that kicked in also for me. I was like, no man, this is fine. We can sort this out.
Yeah, she's pregnant.
She's pregnant. Let's
Yeah.
sort it out. Not in that instant. That was not where my mind was. My mind was like, I need to help you. I need to assist you.
Oh my goodness. So that was our first day of moving in. Very disgusting. It was a very disgusting night. Now
Yes.
let me tell you, that was the first of every night up until we gave birth.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, my morning sickness only came in my third trimester. So every single night, as Cheesy said, blue bucket.
Yeah. The blue bucket became a thing. Like
Blue
I mean,
bucket became a thing.
we bought that blue bucket with the idea of, you know what, this is what we're gonna use to mop the floors and clean the house, and then it turned into something different.
Something completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so moving into
And the nice thing about that is it became like a running joke.
It
Like
did.
you would just say, Emmer,
Yeah, blow Emmer.
and then I know.
Yeah.
And then I know what's coming. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So moving in together, I think the fact that we moved in together, third trimester, me being so pregnant and my pregnancy becoming so disgusting, and that was now also the time that I had no knippers anymore.
Yeah.
So my urine would also just,
Yeah.
you're pregnant in your third trimester, you just urine the whole day.
And
You
your
in the toilet, you smell like urine, everything. So it was just a disgusting time for me. So it was just so raw.
I think for you at the time you were also like, why did this guy choose this moment to move in with me?
We moved in, we moved in together thinking it was gonna be nice and cute and romantic and lovey-dovey.
Yes.
But it wasn't. It was raw. It was disgusting. It was hard work. It was real life basically. And I think that
And also
made us-
remember you were still working, so it was also that thing of
and I
like
was working long hours.
long
also.
hours, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so moving in together was never cute. It was
And-
never cute.
And we didn't really have a plan. We didn't know what.
We had no plan.
We had no plan. We didn't know.
We just knew that we are going to do
Yeah.
it together. And we got a couch eventually. We got a couch actually in that week of moving in together.
Yeah, in that week.
In
Yes.
that week of moving in together. But we did enjoy staying together. It was nice.
Yes. It was, you know, it was
liquor.
it was one of those instances where, you know what, you made a decision
Yeah.
and you have to make the best of what you have.
So let me ask you like this.
Yes.
Obviously, I've had my independence for so long. It's not new to me to open up my eyes under my own roof.
Yeah.
How did it feel for you? Because that was your first time moving out of your parents' house.
Yeah,
How did
like-
you feel all of a sudden now being in a different room.
Yes,
with-
like I'm not gonna lie, like that was a very new
You
experience.
still went home a lot.
Yeah, so that was a very new experience for me.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's one of those things. It's one of those experiences where no one and nothing can prepare you for it.
Yeah,
Like
no.
whatever anybody tells you
Yeah.
or what you have in your mind of how you envision it being,
Yeah.
it will always be something different because it's a new experience.
So moving out of your parents' house, and
Yes.
like I just mentioned, because you went home a lot.
Yeah.
What was your mind? What was your mind process at the time with going home, going to your mom and dad's house every day? Because you went.
I
home
think
every day.
I think the thing that was
You
like
didn't go in the morning. You would go in the afternoon.
I think the thing with that also was like I think it was also just a process for me. Like I'm saying, like with you it was easy because you were now a little used to that
Yeah.
of being on your own. So I
Yeah.
think it was that instance of me slowly letting go
Yeah.
and like going
Yeah.
but getting the feeling of, okay, I'm here now, but I have somewhere else to go now.
Yeah.
So I think that was just part of my process of
Did it
letting
feel
go.
when you go home? Did you feel at home? Did you miss sitting in your parents'
I
lounge?
knew, like, you know what, you always must it because home is a
Yeah,
home.
home is
But
a home.
then, like, you quickly start to realize things going in terms of like you are needed now
Yeah,
somewhere else,
somewhere else.
like your where you need to be.
Was it weird for you when I sometimes called you to ask you like, where are you, or you have to come help me with this? Was it weird coming, like
No,
leaving now your parents' house and then coming
I
to
think
our house?
I think like that actually helped also because that helped with the sense of responsibility, you know.
Didn't you feel like I was nagging you?
No, it didn't feel like
Oh.
nagging at the time. For me, it was also part of the transition. It was like, you know what, your attention is needed somewhere
Yeah.
now.
And it was
Like,
hard for you to transition.
no, it was. I'm not gonna lie, it was difficult.
Yeah.
But then there is also part of life. Like certain things need to happen
Yeah.
in order for you to also be like, you know what, okay,
Yeah.
this is how things work.
Yeah. And I think I had to. If there's one thing I don't have is patience.
Yes.
I have no patience. But I never fought you on that.
Yeah, I think
I was very proud of myself in that moment.
I
Like
think
that
that is
first moment.
that's also one of our differences. You were always impatient, and I was so chilled.
Yeah.
Like I would take things like I would be like super chilled,
Exactly.
and you would be like, "Why is he so chilled?"
Yeah, but what I want to say is that I was naturally I am very impatient, right?
Yes.
But because I knew this is something new for you
Yes.
to not be at home, sometimes I had to remind myself while being at home that
Yeah.
he is not here right now because this is his first time moving out of his parents' house.
Yeah.
So don't be too hard on him or don't nag him too much. He will soon realize that by die huis is eintlik hier by die huis.
Yes.
By die huis is nie by sy maale se huis nie. And that was actually a time in my life that I surprised myself a lot
With patience.
with patience, because I can remember I was sitting on the couch one day and I was sitting and watching a movie, and I think it was like a Saturday.
Yes.
And I was like, how am I alone right now in this
Yeah.
apartment? Isn't this me and Cheesy's apartment?
Yes.
How is this man at his parents' house in this instance? Like, what is
Yes.
happening? So I could have picked up the phone and be like, hello?
Yeah.
Jy behoort hier, like, what are you doing there,
Yeah.
you know? Or I could have go and be with you there, or I could just let you be.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, let me go. But also, I am 8 months pregnant. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not walking anywhere. I'm not
Yes.
walking anywhere. So I was like, okay, now girl, enjoy your movie, be at home,
And I think
you will soon realize
also the
DSA
is like,
Yeah.
and like you say, like that moment you finished that work where you were like now getting ready, I think you started enjoying the place more, the watching of TV, relaxing, being home.
What do you mean? When I
When-
went on maternity leave?
When you went on maternity leave, I
Okay.
think that helped you ease into the place much better.
Yeah.
Remember, you were still going to work when we just moved in.
Yes.
So that helped you ease into the place. And it also helped me ease into the place because
Yeah.
I knew when I come back from work, you would be home.
Yes.
And then it's also just you home now.
Yeah. Is that's why you like a housewife? Did you get a taste of it that
No, man. Yeah, so there was like just that instance of like coming
Yeah.
home and like just getting to ease into that.
Yeah, definitely. When I started going on maternity leave, things got better with us staying together.
Yes.
Because when we just moved in, all that vomiting, all those kind of things, and then we both out in the morning. Because
Yeah.
I started work so early, you started work so early. Come back home late. So it was always just
Yes.
we didn't really know how are we doing
How does this thing work?
how does this thing work staying together all of a sudden, and now sharing a bathroom,
Yeah.
things like that. Like, when are you finishing up, when am I finishing up?
It was a complete adjustment.
It was a complete adjustment, and fortunately enough, a month after I went on maternity leave, so things I think
Started balancing.
Yeah, while being on maternity leave, we got a structure and a routine.
We found, yes,
We found common ground, and I think me being on maternity leave and you coming home thinking, okay, I was at home the whole day, you
yes,
also stayed at home longer and you didn't go
exactly.
back to your parents' house so often. And I think that's where it started changing.
Yes, that was basically where the shift started.
Yeah,
So,
that was where we realized we are staying together.
yes.
Yeah.
So, what that adjustment and okay, finally finding out now, okay, yeah, now we're staying together. There was still one thing that was on the way,
What?
the baby.
The baby! Oh my goodness, the baby was on the way. Okay, no, before we go to the baby was on the way. Okay,
Yes.
so we got a 2-bedroom apartment,
Yes.
right? And I told Chizzy, wow, this was a discussion when we now said, okay, we're going to get a place of our own.
Yes.
Then we were like, okay, are we getting a 1-bedroom or like a 2-bedroom?
Yes.
And we decided on getting a 2-bedroom. Because the promise I made myself, like my son will forever have his own room.
Yes.
From the day he's born, he will have his own room. Like,
Yes.
home would be, he would have his section in the house.
You will have that feeling of when he arrives that okay, this is my section of the house. Yes.
Yeah. And with moving together, he had his own room. So now I was now nesting. I was at home,
Yeah.
maternity leave, nesting. That journey for me was also so nice.
Yes.
The fact that we could, as much as I did the baby room by myself, but there was a few things that you asked for me to either us doing together or you wanna just help.
Just add that
Just
element
add,
to the room. Yes.
so that you can also just feel,
Yes.
a part of getting his room together.
Yes.
I feel like that was also a very nice time in us staying together.
Yeah.
Creating Zachary's room, like
That
his
that
baby
also,
nursery together.
I think that also helped the bond. Like okay,
It did.
because that made us realize like you know what, we're preparing for something and something is
Yeah.
on the way.
Yes.
Yes.
That
So-
was a nice, yeah.
That whole process, and I mean we were so blessed with all of the gifts that we got from.
Extremely blessed.
We didn't really spend a lot of money
We didn't spend any money.
to prepare that space
No,
for
we
him,
didn't
and I
spend
feel
any
like
money.
that was a blessing.
That was back in the day. I didn't know what manifestation was.
Yeah.
I never used that word. Like
Yeah.
now, I know actually what manifestation means.
Yes.
I manifested Zachary's room, and I manifested my life and our life.
Yes.
As parents, and I always said that the moment I become a mom, my son will have his own room and he will have everything, and you will have a nursery.
Exactly.
So that is one thing that while I was staying at my mother's house, I was like, where's my son's nursery going to be? Is my son going to sleep in the same bed that I'm sleeping in? This is not my life.
This is not what you envisioned.
This
Yes.
is not what I envisioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with Zachary's nursery, God blessed us so much. We paid for nothing. We got literally everything. God blessed us with everything.
And funny
God,
and funny enough, the time when we got those things, like some of the things we didn't even know how we're gonna implement and use this when he arrived, but we ended up using every
Everything.
single thing
yeah,
that was
God
given to us.
worked in a beautiful way. Like one day, one doctor would just ask, "Do you have a cot?" I was like, "No,
Yeah.
we don't have a cot yet," and I would get money to go buy it. Then we
Yeah.
bought it. And then we were asked, "Do you guys have a pram?" We're like, "No, not yet. We got the money." We
Yeah,
bought the pram."
that was
chest of drawer. We got the money. We bought the chest of drawer.
Yeah.
Everything just came. God just
Blessed
used-
us.
He just blessed us. He just used all these people
Yes.
to literally give us a nursery. And I can remember we were just so blessed.
we were like sometimes we were in disbelief at the amount of things we have, like, and
Yeah.
we were
We
just
would-
blessed, like looking at everything. Like I remember there was days where we would go into his room and we would look at things and we were like, wow,
Yeah. This is God.
yes,
I can remember I always used to say, not my money, nor your money bought this. Not my money, nor your money bought
Yes.
this. God's money bought it, basically. Yeah, so I feel like that section of us
it helped so much.
decorating-
Yes,
decorating his nursery um, gave us a strong bond
Yes.
because we were laughing with one another and
It
saying,
it
"Oh, we're
and
gonna be
sometimes we would, and you
parents."
remember, sometimes we would even go lay in that room and be like, wow, there's gonna be a person in this room.
Yeah.
And with the moving part aside,
Okay.
baby, how did you feel
Uh-huh.
when you found out it's a boy?
I always,
Let's get to that.
I always knew. I always knew it was a boy. I always knew it was a boy. The moment I found out that I was pregnant,
Yes.
I always knew it was a boy.
Yeah.
I
There was
never thought of it being anything other than a
there
boy.
was never a doubt in my mind as well. I was like, I just knew.
Yeah. Even when our doctor told us that we are carrying a boy, it wasn't a shock. I wasn't even overly happy or excited. I was just like I knew.
I knew.
I knew it was
Yes.
a boy. I knew I was carrying a boy. I
Yes.
just knew it. I don't know. I don't know how to put it in plain words, but
It's just a feeling that you know this
It's-
is the way it is.
yeah. The moment I felt pregnant, it was a boy.
Yes.
If maybe the doctor would have said it's a girl, I would have been very shocked.
Yeah.
You know?
I was kind of hoping a little.
Yeah.
But I knew 90% I knew it was a boy,
Yeah.
but there was only that 10% that was like, it would be nice to see a little girl.
Yeah, Nia, I never
Daddy's
saw any little girl.
daddy's little girl.
Nia. Not out of my womb. I don't know.
So then, babe, with that whole ease of us easing into
Yeah.
moving, and we finally get to the month of, I want to talk about the morning of.
Morning of giving birth.
Doctor told us this is the day the bed is booked. What happened that day? How was your experience of knowing when we leave home now, we're not coming back alone?
Listen, so I always wanted to give birth naturally, right?
Yes.
One, because I knew I want to have more kids, and also I just didn't want a C-section.
Yes.
So I was 31 weeks and 5 days pregnant.
Yes.
Which is a very long time to be pregnant.
Yeah.
And when our gynecologist said, listen, we are going to induce you.
It's the time is
because,
now, yes.
Yeah, your water's not breaking, nothing is happening, so, and there's not a lot of space anymore for baby there. This is going to...
And baby was not budging at all.
No, baby wasn't budging at all. I don't know, that morning I was so calm. I woke up with a lot of energy that morning. I woke up early that morning and I spring cleaned the whole house. I cleaned out Zachary's room. I cleaned out the bathroom. I cleaned out the lounge. I spring cleaned the whole house because I wanted the house to be clean when we come home.
Yes.
I didn't have any excitement.
Yeah.
I had no feelings, basically. Was so
you were neutral.
I was so neutral. I was just like, okay, today is the day. Neutral.
I
wasn't even scared.
I didn't know what was happening, but I'm not a late sleeper.
No.
Like Marilee knows when it comes to sleeping late, I will say, okay, tomorrow I'm sleeping late, and then I'll be up at 6:30.
Yeah, that's your late sleeping.
So on this particular day, I was
goodness.
lights out. I was like, I don't know. And what time did I wake up? 9 o'clock.
You woke up at 9 o'clock. We had to be at the hospital at 11 o'clock. 9 o'clock, Cesare was still fast asleep. Not pretending like he's sleeping. Not just laying in bed. He was fast asleep. I woke him up. I'm like, why are you sleeping?
Yes.
And I can remember all you said is, ek is moe.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you moe or are you nervous? So what was that?
I think I was like very nervous, and like I had butterflies.
Really?
I had like heavy butterflies. I had this hole in my stomach. I was like, wow, like this is actually happening. Like this.
You nervous?
I had so many emotions. I was like, this. We waited so long, like this entire 9 months, and this is the day of. It's finally happening.
My goodness.
And I mean, this is June, so I already had my birthday.
Yes.
And this was middle of winter. It was very cold.
It was extremely cold.
It was a very cold winter when
Yeah.
it was born. So I was like, wow, this is really happening in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
and you spring cleaning the house.
Yeah.
I decided to also clean when I woke up. Imagine it.
Yeah, and
That-
what were
yeah.
you cleaning? Because
There was nothing to
I
clean.
can remember
Yeah.
I even said, "What maak
Yeah.
jy? It's a skoon."
Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna be honest. I don't even remember the drive to the hospital.
Really?
I can't even remember it.
So my mom and my sister came that morning. My mom was supposed to go to work that day. My sister
And your
was
sister,
supposed
yes.
to go to work that day. So they just came that morning. Oh, the night before, one of my friends actually came and she slept over just
Yes.
to ease
Yeah.
us into it. That was kind of nice. But
Yeah.
anyway, the next day, my mom and my sister came and they were like, no, we just here for the morning, just
Yes.
to wish you good luck and things
Yeah.
like that. But then they were still sitting outside on the
We had a bench outside.
yeah, we had benches outside
Yeah.
there. So they were still sitting outside. And I remember I wanted to mop outside.
Yes.
Because we had like tiles there outside.
Yeah.
And I asked them, when are you guys going to work? I would really like to mop here outside. And then my mom said, why are you so busy? Like, you need to go give birth. Stop cleaning.
You need to chill.
You need to chill. And that's where she someone said, oh, en ek gaan ook sommer nie werk doen nie. And my sister was like,
Ek gaan ook nie werk doen nie.
yeah, and I was like, where are you guys going?
Yeah.
And they were like, we're going with you. There's no way we're going to work while you're giving birth.
Yes.
So that was very nice. That was very, very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you started cleaning the house all over again.
Yes, and then the drive, like I said, babe, I don't remember the drive. I just literally remember us arriving at the hospital
Is
and that
it?
whole process of the file and going like from
I
home.
remember the drive though.
You remember the drive
I do.
from home till the hospital.
Yeah.
I literally remember like where you were like now in the gown and they came with the ball.
Really?
Yeah, they came with the ball and then
I was
you
still
were there.
making jokes and I was still dancing. You don't remember all that?
I remember all that,
Uh?
but I was pacing. Like I was
Were you
like
so stressed out?
I was very nervous. Like I was pacing.
Oh my
Because as much as I was excited, I was
Yeah.
also nervous because it's pregnancy. I mean, it's
Yeah.
giving birth. It's like what's happening
Yeah, and this is all within 3 months of moving in together?
or within 3 months. Like I mean, like there is balancing, moving in, balancing, baby arriving.
Balancing moving in third trimester, which was a nasty third trimester,
Yeah.
and then giving birth all in 3 months.
All in 3 months. So how was that experience for you? Like knowing baby's coming, and also that it didn't go according to plan, like we envisioned.
You know
Yes.
what? I feel like that's going to be episode.
There
next
we
episode.
go.
I feel
Yes.
like that's going to be the next episode.
That is because that is
'Cause
major.
That's a whole story within itself. That's a whole. Listen, that's a whole drama.
Yes, but
Yeah.
it is part of our story and
Definitely part of our journey.
part of the journey.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is us moving in together.
And
I'm
basically,
married.
can you believe that's 5 years ago now?
That's 5 years ago. Oh my goodness. We have come such a long way.
Yes.
And we have had such a journey in itself. Yeah, no,
We still have a lot more to share.
we still have a lot more to share. So definitely in the next episode we are going to be sharing our giving birth story and a little bit of parenting.
Yes.
In the beginning, being new parents, being young parents, being parents basically on our own.
Yes.
Yeah, that is what we are
Not having a manual.
not having a manual at all. I don't think anybody had a manual.
And what about that? Remember that you must also mention that
What?
Google, I don't know what it is that sends you where we are currently at every time.
Listen, we are going to add that in the next episode. Don't give too much away.
Yes.
But yeah, Google has helped us so much, although I didn't like Google in the beginning. But yeah, this is a wrap. This is us moving in together, unmarried and pregnant.
And that's another episode of the Always.
And Forever Podcast. Up until next time, guys. We love you.
We
so
love you
much.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.